It's Sunday, April 9th, 2023. This is the Pound for Pound MMA podcast. My name is Taylor Cragen.
My name is Mason Knight. This is episode 160, Pereira versus Adesanya 2 recap. After that, we jump to some MMA news, and then we talk about the highly anticipated Holloway versus Allen preview show. But before we do all that, Tabor, where do we begin?
With our social media accounts, Mason, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, all these same guys at P4P MMA Pod. Go follow us if you aren't already. We're trying to post funny memes, trying to make you guys laugh. So hit us up over there. We're also going to be posting YouTube shorts and clips back here on the channel, guys. So if you are not subscribed here on YouTube, make sure you smash that subscribe button and the bell notification down below so you are notified each and every single time we go live. Guys, we also have a Patreon. I think it's $3.99, correct?
I don't know.
It's something like that. It's under $5 a month, guys. All that money goes right back into the show, and you will get exclusive content over there. We did a second service exclusive Patreon podcast last night. It was a lot of fun. We all had a little bit too much to drink last night in the fight opinions.
Yeah,
so we got a little crazy and wild, but we were laughing our faces off the whole time.
Yeah, I made a bit of an ass of myself, but it was because of you guys
really.
sending in a lot of money.
What's new?
I know what's new, right? But yeah, no. Yeah, I don't want to go back and watch that at all because I guarantee I'm just going to be irritated at myself.
Well, your knockout reaction was glorious, by the way. I also really enjoyed that.
I don't
It was a lot of
watch
fun.
that either.
That was a lot of fun.
Did you put that up already?
No, we need to. I'm going to get that file. I'm going to get that file tonight, and I'm going to upload some clips of that fight.
I was pretty pumped for Izzy though, because that was a huge moment and we will talk about it. We'll break it all down, but that was such a huge moment in the sport. That was such a big moment for him, and that speech he gave afterwards was powerful.
Okay,
man.
let's just get
inspirational.
Into it. Yeah, guys. If you want to see that exclusive podcast, subscribe to our Patreon. It's under $5 a month. You get a bunch more exclusive content over there as well. Also, go watch our fight companion, guys. Do it obviously after this live stream. Don't go do it right now. Don't leave. But once it's done, open up 2 tabs. Have that fight companion going in the background. Fuck it, why not?
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot of fun. So shout out to all the guests that were on last night. And let's get into a main event of the evening. Alex Pereira, Israel Adesanya 2, the rematch. Glorious.
Wow, incredible. What I do remember from last night, too, is, oh, my God, Cash was killing me with the Butterbean thing and wheeling him out. Because have you guys seen Butterbean recently?
No, is he, like, legit in a wheelchair?
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So, he was making those jokes. I don't even think realizing that, Butterbean is severely compromised, as he's older. I mean, we love Butterbean on this podcast, but
we do, absolutely.
Oh my God! So he just kept going. I don't think he realized how bad Butterbean's doing, and I was laughing so hard.
I think he did because he definitely mentioned the wheelchair multiple times.
Oh my!
So I think
God.
he knew. He definitely.
Was
hilarious.
It was more entertaining than these first couple of rounds. And dude, he had me dying. It was so funny. My stomach hurt. I was laughing so much, but yeah, good time. But as far as the fight's concerned, obviously the first round was definitely more of a feel out round. And, we elaborated on that in the fight companion, joked around about it a bit. But boy, when it turned on, man. And, Izzy, that was so smart. You go back and watch that. I really felt like, in a way, Izzy kind of baited him.
Yeah.
Because he was up against the fence. He was kind of, defending. And he let Pereira kind of unload a bit. And then he just caught him. I believe caught him with that right and then hit him with that overhand right again.
And then hit him with the left as he was going down too. And it was over. He was out before he even touched the canvas, man.
And it's just such a cool thing to see for Israel Adesanya, man. I mean, so powerful too, because what would have happened to Israel Adesanya's legacy? I mean, this man literally put everything on the line in this fight. If he loses this fight, you question his legacy. You question, I wouldn't say Hall of Fame status because no matter what, Israel Adesanya will be a Hall of Famer, but that true GOAT status, right? You can't lose to a guy 4 times in a row or, potentially get knocked out by him 3 out of 4 times. There's always going to be that asterisk next to his name. But he didn't just beat Alex Pereira via decision, maybe a split decision. He went out there and he finished the man. And for him to be able to go out there with all that pressure out there on the line and do what he did, it was amazing. And I love his speech was the best part. of the entire thing. I mean, obviously the knockout was, but that speech was awesome, man. He goes, I just hope everyone one day is ever as happy as I am in this moment.
Yeah.
He goes, find something that you're passionate about, go after it, succeed in it, and you will be happy like me.
Were you guys surprised about his game plan there towards the end, playing possum?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what got him in trouble last time.
Was that his game plan, though?
He said that's what he was doing. He was setting traps and baiting him in. I was just curious what
it's a dangerous game to play, man.
Yeah, especially with the power of Pereira.
The leg kicks were getting to him again a bit, which is why he switched up his stance. He was also getting Pereira with some leg kicks, but he said Pereira's are just, pretty sneaky. So his leg was getting compromised a bit. So were you shocked to see him kind of go to the same thing that had beat him before, fighting off the fence but succeeding this time?
Yeah, well, he covered up very well. He was defending against the fence very, very well. I mean, even though Alex was unloading in those exchanges, like how many of those actually landed?
Yeah, his guard
body
was
shots. Yeah, his guard was up. So I mean, he defended all of those shots and then just perfectly caught him with the counter. It was beautiful.
It really was.
And it just showed how much power Israel really has. And I don't want to take anything away from Israel's win last night. But at the same time, like, I have to mention it. Is this weight cut just too much for Alex? Like, was his chin a little bit compromised from that? Because looking back at that shot, I don't know. Like, should Alex have been knocked out by a shot like that? Right on the temple?
I think the second one, because it's straight to the temple.
The second one was the one that finished it.
It's lights out. There's nothing you can do.
But I mean, it's the same shot. That was the exact same shot that he landed in the first fight and almost knocked him out with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do we see Alex back at 185? Is the weight cut too much? Is he going to 205 next?
Two things. By bringing this up, I really don't think we're diminishing Izzy's win at all. I mean,
but I mean, that's a talking point. That's going to be a factor coming in.
Yeah, but I mean, not for me. Not for me. Israel Adesanya went out there and he got the job done and he won. Pereira went out there, he made weight and he lost. And it is what it is. And it's not taking anything away from Izzy's performance. It was masterful. On the side of Pereira, though, I do honestly, while keeping these two separate, I do honestly feel like 185 is too much for him to cut. I would very much like to see him in 205 for multiple reasons. One of those being not a lot of grapplers at 205 right now. Not a lot of guys who will take him down and implement the wrestling. There's going to be a lot of stand and bang fights, and that's going to be a good for that division because the light heavyweight division needs a guy like Alex Pereira there. Another top contender, another guy who can go out there and crack and knock people out. And imagine 20 pounds on Alex. How much more of a savage that guy will be. So I do hope he moves up. He was a middleweight champion. He won the belt. No one can ever take that away from him. And I'd like to see him go and try to.
It's on his arm.
Right.
So,
yeah. I'd like to see him move up and maybe take on like a Jiri Prochazka. I mean, how much fun would that be?
That's the fight that I've been wanting the most to see at light heavyweight is him and Yuri. I think that would be the greatest fight.
Or him and Jamal Hill.
Him and Jamal Hill would
Jamal Hill would be good too.
I think with him and Yuri, it would be a more interesting fight, technicality wise, just back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I think with him and Jamal is technical, but I think it's going to be more like someone's getting knocked the fuck out. Then I'd also like to see maybe an Ankalaev fight with him. That'd also be pretty cool. Tabor, you were talking about an Anthony Smith fight. That doesn't really interest me as much because I think Anthony Smith's legs is too compromised.
Well, if he gets hit with those leg kicks,
I do think he can contend, but you want to speak more about that?
No, to be honest, I don't because
no, actually, I don't want to make my point.
I'm gonna to be honest, I don't. It's because is he gonna move up? Or I mean, he's gonna have a really bad taste in his mouth after that. He might actually be wanting to go for that trilogy. And then Dana, AW, shout out to you in the chat. He's saying Dana and Izzy shutting down the idea of a trilogy was lame as hell. Izzy's saying no. Izzy's telling him to move up. He doesn't want to get that fight again. He feels like he solidified it with that knockout. And apparently Dana's not behind it as well.
I mean, Dana, on Izzy's side, yes. Let me defend Dana a little bit here. He just thinks that he's going to go up to 205, which is a smarter thing to do because he almost missed weight. And I think that's a smarter thing to do. Why don't you just fight at your natural weight? I mean, he's got the perfect build for it. He's tall, pretty lengthy for that division. So on Izzy's side, he's like, show me something and maybe we'll talk about it. I'm not really interested. But on Dana's side, he just thinks that he's going to move up. So
he should move up, I think. But I wouldn't be surprised if he tried one more time.
Right. That's what I would say. So I think it really depends on Alex. One, I really do not believe Israel Adesanya can turn that down. Okay, Izzy went out there, he solidified it, he won, and it was awesome. But he's 1-3 against the guy. The guy beat him the first time. Alex beat him the first time. Izzy beats him the second. You have to give that guy the trilogy fight if he wants it. Also, as a president, Dana White, you can't throw away that trilogy and just say, nope, we're not going to do it.
Well, it's the only fight.
It really comes down to Alex.
There's no other fight at 185 more interesting for Israel than Alex.
Exactly.
There's no other fight. Israel's already cleaned out that entire fucking division, unless some new kid is ready to move up and make that fight. But who?
I mean, Duplessis is the only guy who's not.
And he gets smoked by both these men.
100%.
Let's be real.
No, 100%.
I think Duplessis has got more power than Izzy, but I think Izzy will just
would piece him up.
Oh, yeah.
Duplessis, I don't want to disrespect like that.
I don't want to disrespect that guy. He's a savage.
I think he's going to fight for the title within like a year. On that side, I do think, once again, I mean, even Glover, said that he thinks that Alex is going to move up to 205. So it's not just Izzy not really caring about it. It's Dana and Glover. Everyone's saying this guy's moving up to 205.
Well, there is one name that we're not thinking about that would make it very interesting, and that's Khamzat Chimaev.
Yes.
At middleweight.
Was that who is? I don't know if you watched Izzy's post-fight press conference. Is that who he was referencing?
Well, it was either him or Duplessis, because Duplessis was saying a lot of things about Izzy too, and Izzy didn't like something that he said about South Africa, because Duplessis is from South Africa.
He also was taking shots at Kamaru and Izzy and all them, because he was born in South Africa and lives in South Africa, so he was saying that he was more African than they were because.
Yeah,
they
something
live
like
in
that.
America and New Zealand. That's pretty much what he was saying.
Okay, then I would like to see. I mean, if we can fast track Alex, which he was, to the title, then do Duplessis. Like you said, Izzy cleaned out the division, so that's the only fight that would really interest me.
I want the Alex trilogy. I want to see this motherfucker just kill himself one last time, just for my entertainment, dude. I really want it.
Yeah, I'd like to see him. I'd like to see the trilogy. I really want to
see it.
But
can he make weight? That's the thing.
I don't know if the UFC is going to do it, because I mean, no disrespect to any of these other contenders in the middleweight division, but fight stylistically were just not fun with Israel Adesanya. Like a Jared Cannonier
and this trilogy sells,
Arm Vittori, like Robert Whittaker. Those fights are good, But Paulo Costa, no thank you.
Whittaker and Khamzat both tweeted at Izzy like, we're ready. So I think you possibly see Khamzat versus Izzy maybe in the fall, and then have Robert as a backup.
Yeah. See, I want to see Khamzat fight someone else at 185 first. Just get one fight before he fights Izzy.
Then fight Robert.
He can fight Alex too.
I think Alex is going up. So I wanted Khamzat Robert from the get-go.
Yeah.
I think you need to do that, and then Robert gets another shot.
Main event in Sweden. I think it's in June. Khamzat Robert.
Yeah, it's
Why
just
not? I mean, I know Robert's kind of just like, I'm waiting, but at the same time, I really want to see that Khamzat Robert fight. I don't really want to see. I do want to see. I want Robert to be champ one day, but I mean, Izzy's just kind of got his number. I don't really want to see another Robert fight with Izzy. I don't want to see. I don't really care as much for the Alex fight, but I will be more willing to do that than the Robert fight. But like he's cleaned out the division. How many more times can we watch this guy fight everyone? Alex is the only trilogy fight I would be okay with. But I'm kind of pulling for Duplessis here.
Yeah, that's interesting. Not me in any capacity. I definitely want to see that trilogy. But I also, outside of that, in Duplessis, if we don't get that Alex trilogy, I am way more interested in a Khamzat Chimaev versus Israel Adesanya, because stylistically, I really think Khamzat's going to try to wear on him, take him down, blah, blah, blah. Can Izzy have that anti-wrestling, anti-takedown, and outpoint and outstrike Khamzat Chimaev? I mean, that's what's interesting to me. The problem with that and the issue I do see is, one, Khamzat's not ranked. And I do agree with you guys. Like, I really feel like Khamzat has got to have one more fight. Yes, he knocked out Gerald Mearshart at middleweight, 2-3 years ago. But outside of that, hasn't really had a middleweight fight. He's top 3 in the world in welterweight, but unranked in middleweight. So I'd like to see him take on like a Marvin Vittori or a Robert Whittaker, and then see, if he can beat either one of those guys, then he gets a shot.
I like the Robert fight the most, but also Vittori interests me. Just to elaborate on that, Tabor, I believe Ant's talking about when Izzy got knocked out, Alex's son came in and slept on the ground and was
fell back,
taunting him and whatnot. He's like, damn, kid, that's disrespectful.
Is that what he did? All right.
Yeah,
See,
and
when I
then-
thought he went
and
down to the
then-
ground, I thought he was just taunting Alex on the ground.
No.
No.
So the first
Alex's
time he got
son.
knocked out in Brazil, the kid was like 6 or 7 years old, and he goes and he hits himself in the head with like a book or whatever, and then fell down because Israel Adesanya had got knocked out. So when he was celebrating with his dad, he did the same thing right in front of Izzy. So the kid's like 12 years old now, and then Izzy goes up, points at him, cusses at him, finds him cage side, points at him, and then falls down and acts like he got knocked out the same way his dad did.
Oh, that's messed up.
He said that he was
you don't
just
do that
being
to a kid.
petty,
That's
but
just
also-
super. That's just.
I don't really care.
Oh, I don't.
It is
mean,
what it is.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's
you
not
know,
like
if
he
you're,
beat the kid or anything. He's just
it's
taunting
lame.
him back.
yeah. Well, I'm actually fine with it. 100%. 100%. I'm okay with it. Because if that
I don't
kid,
know.
yeah, dude, if my kid did that and like I won the fight, I'd be like, hey, you little turd, don't do that again. That's disrespectful. You know, I mean, says the guy who's disrespectful all the time, apparently. But
Yeah, but then if the
Uh,
guy did it back to your kid, you might feel some type of.
I
way.
wouldn't care.
I don't know.
No, not with that. It's not like he assaulted my child or something like
Just
that.
came up,
so-
punches your kid in the face.
Well,
and
then
you
we'd
hit-
have then we have
Then we'd have a problem. But let's be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
If Izzy beats up your son, you're gonna like maybe he deserved it. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Oh, so AW said no. He was
Yeah.
taunting Alex's son, then called him a little asshole in the press conference, and said
Uh-huh.
he'd beat his ass if his dad wouldn't.
Yeah.
It was more of a throwaway comment. He doesn't actually mean he's gonna beat his
Yeah. It was
I
a
feel like
throwaway.
I feel like Ant might be a little like not like Izzy that much. I get what he's saying. Maybe he's a father and he doesn't like to see that. I get that, but I think you're reading too deep into it. It's just like a throwaway thing. I mean,
It's not very classy.
it's not
It is what it
classy,
is.
but a bunch of other fighters do
Yeah,
the
but
same.
we're not very classy on this podcast
Yeah,
either.
let's
We
be
say a
honest.
lot
We're
of
degenerates.
stupid shit that we shouldn't be saying and regret saying, like I did last night. I apologize to you, Jorge Masvidal.
We'll get to
Don't
that.
kill But you know, so like, yeah, and I agree, it was just kind of like a throwaway comment, like, you know, oh yeah, I'll beat his ass if. But it wasn't like there wasn't malice and intention behind it. So I do agree with you there, man. I didn't mind it, honestly.
It is
Yeah.
what it is. All right. So, gun to your head. Is there going to be a trilogy, or are we just going to move on?
I think the UFC will move on. I think it's a huge mistake, and I think they've got a giant fight on their hands, and they're just going to move on from it and have less entertaining fights.
Well,
That's
we already
unfortunate.
get a great trilogy this summer with Nunes versus Pena 3. So you're getting
Oh
a
my
trilogy.
goodness,
It's
don't
just
even-
not the one you wanted.
Yeah,
There's a reason why that's not even MMA news.
that's crazy. Poor Canada. That's what they got.
Oh, that's what they get, and that's what they deserve. Let's move on to coin bets. Mason, do you remember what you did yesterday? Because I'm not gonna lie, I did not do any bets. Like I didn't write any of it down. I did 100 on it.
You gotta go to 35 minutes.
Yeah, but I definitely won.
You won.
Yeah, I won.
you
So we'll
won.
just say we don't have to go
All right,
through them
all right,
individually.
all
We'll
right.
just talk about the fights.
Yeah, it was a great fight, a great main event. Shout out to Israel Adesanya, the champ once again, 2-time. So can't wait. Let's move on to the co-main event of the evening. We had an absolutely fantastic, entertaining matchup. It was back and forth the entire time. I was totally enthralled. Jorge Masvidal looked absolutely fantastic. Gilbert Burns, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna lie, bro. This fight fucking was a fart button for me.
Yeah,
This fight sucked. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like it.
yeah, it was. You know, there was more to be desired there, and it is what it is. But
Did you guys?
there was some controversy.
Did you hear about
Uh-huh.
what Gilbert said about Masvidal?
Yeah,
No,
he
what'd
said
he say?
it was one of the oldest tricks in the book. He said that
You
you know,
oil checked him?
yeah, the old lathering up, putting on a bunch of lotion so that way it would sweat through and he would be. Real
Oh yeah, I
slick.
heard about that. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah.
He was saying he felt like he couldn't. It was harder to grab him and finish him when he had his back. He couldn't do it. He said he wanted to come out stronger in the first. He was a little disappointed, and said he was really trying to get that finish. He's really trying to get that finish, but he felt that Masvidal was just way too slippery from the get go. So I don't know. It's hearsay.
Well, you want to break a sweat in the room, right? Maybe put a little sweet sweat on to help him break that first sweat. You know,
Yeah,
something
dude.
like that. A little bit of lotion afterwards. You know, baby,
Yeah.
that's the oldest trick in the book, right?
It
really is.
And I feel like for, you know, a guy, well, let's just put it this way. For a guy who goes out and sucker punches people,
Are we
would I
shocked?
put it past him
No.
to, you know, do one of the old tricks and be really lathered up against a extremely well-practiced jiu-jitsu practitioner? No, I would not. Jorge's last fight as well, when possible title fight against Leon Rocky Edwards, lose, retire. So of course he's going to try to pull out every stop in the bag. So yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. Let's put it that way. I would not put it past him.
NW
really
said
not
tried to
gonna
pull
get-
the old GSP.
We're really not going to get
Yeah.
that 3-piece Minnesota and Rocky fight, which that's what Leon wanted. I wonder if they.
I'm so glad we're not getting
I wonder
that.
if Leon wins this fight, he'll offer Jorge a title fight. He'll say fast track it, even though he's retired.
That would be the lamest thing ever.
And then we won't get Connor versus Masvidal, which I think would be the biggest. Do the biggest.
That's not
numbers.
happening, dude. Let's be real. Is he staying retired 100%, or do we see him in 6 months? Maybe needs another paycheck, pay some legal bills or something like that.
I don't know. I don't think he needs much more money.
I mean, I think he's doing pretty well with his promotion. He's got an MMA promotion.
Mhm.
He's got a boxing promotion too
Yeah.
now, and they're actually giving decent sized paychecks. I think Jose Aldo got paid like $250K or something.
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
like 300,000. Like they're paying the fighters there, and I got respect to Jorge Masvidal for that because
Imagine
they're paying the
making more
fighters.
than when you
We're in the UFC, yeah, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, no. As far as Leon Edwards goes, like no, that would be the lamest thing. I do not want to see Jorge Masvidal versus Leon Edwards ever in any capacity. Now we have just moved so far beyond that. So no.
Yeah, it would not be entertaining. Jorge just never pulled any trigger. He was too worried about the takedown all night. He never got started. It was a really bad performance on his end, and I really wasn't that impressed with Gilbert Burns either. Like,
Yeah, it
he
wasn't the fireworks.
He
It
should
should
have gone
been.
out there and finished Jorge, and he could have.
Yeah.
He had the skill set to do so, and I don't know. I don't know what it was. I think he was nervous. I think both fighters were a little nervous, a little too timid here in this fight, and I was expecting like some sort of fireworks at some point. Like Gilbert Burns can fucking bang with the best of them. We saw it in the Hamza Chimaev war that he was in. I know he doesn't want to get in these wars again, but I mean, I don't know.
But we have an issue.
It wasn't working out.
Like we actually have like a real issue in this welterweight division already. Like some fights have to start developing. Okay, because Gilbert Burns just gets a win over Jorge Masvidal. It doesn't really rise his stock that much. I mean, again, it's Jorge Masvidal last fight, but Burns is sitting at 5. We have Bilal Muhammad at 4, Hamza Chimaev at 3, Colby Covington at 2, Kamaru Usman at 1. What we gotta get this welterweight churning a little bit.
So
Like, who is the next guy?
Colby's getting the fight. We know
Yeah,
the
that's
UFC
what
wants
Dana
it.
said.
Colby wants it. Dana wants it. The only person that doesn't fucking want it is Leon Edwards. But at the same fucking time, dude, you're gonna have a pay-per-view in July in London, in your city again. You're the fucking champion. You're gonna be the main event of the evening. Who do you want? Obviously, you're gonna want Jorge Masvidal. Easiest fight, biggest money. Okay, well, that's not happening. He's retired now. 3-piece Minnesota's forever in the garbage. It's Colby. You can't just sit there and say you don't want to fight Colby now because Colby's going to be your biggest paycheck. Is he your toughest fight? I mean, other than Hamzat, maybe. Maybe. But I mean, he just defeated Kamaru Usman twice now. So I don't get it. I don't know what Leon's angle is here. He needs to fight Colby. It's going to happen. It's the biggest fight you can make right now in welterweight.
Yeah, I think it's the only fight. Or excuse me, not the only fight. Bilal Muhammad should have got the shot. I'd actually prefer Bilal Muhammad getting the shot over Colby, but I get it. We've already talked about that.
It's not as big a
draw,
payday. You know, the company's going to make more money with Colby.
which is very unfortunate for Bilal Muhammad because if anyone deserves it more in this welterweight division, it is him, and he's kind of getting Leon Edwards treatment. He's really got to work his way up, but
seems like no one seems to remember this guy's name.
Yeah, remember the name, baby, but they got to remember the name and remember the show. But yeah, he'll get that treatment. I think if he gets one more really solidifying win. But what do we do? Do we do Kamaru Usman versus Bilal Muhammad or Hamzat Chimaev versus Kamaru Usman?
Hamzat's 185. Let's just take him
Hamzat's
off
185. Gilbert said that Bilal said that if he's not going to get a title shot, then he wants Usman. That would leave Leon and Colby, and then
I'd love to see Burns Rachmanov.
Oh, yes. And
dude,
you put them on the card with Colby,
Well,
and then Burns could be the backup.
Well, that's the fight that UFC, I guess, is wanted to offer
to Burns.
But he said he's demanding to be back up for the title. Then he wants a title. He's not fighting for anything else. That's what he said.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, you have like
you might
these
have to fight
fighters.
one more time.
These fighters just have to realize they're all got to fight one more time.
He said, "Give me a title." He said, "I want to be back up for the title fight." Dana said, "Done deal." He said he's demanding a title shot after that, or he's leaving. He wants to get released. He said, "Look at these fighters going and making like $1 million in PFL and shit. That's what he wants.
Oh, Gilbert would fucking win the welterweight title every year in
yeah,
PFL, bro.
anywhere. Yeah, anywhere he went. Maybe outside of one championship because they've got a lot of high caliber fighters over there. But yeah, dude, Gilbert would crush in the PFL or Bellator.
Absolutely. I get it. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I was not impressed with Gilbert Burns and Jorge Masvidal. I don't want to see Gilbert Burns get a title shot off of that after that performance. I know it was unanimous. I know he 30-27 them, but man, you got to do more than that, especially against a guy that everyone thought you were going to beat. You were a massive favorite.
30-25. Fuck.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, well, let's go into picks. I picked Gilbert in this matchup, and I'm sure you as well did, right?
Yeah. I'm shocked here. I'm sorry. I was reading this. Ant W. I don't know how true this is, but he says Bellator's on the market. I hope UFC buys it.
Please don't. Please don't.
Please don't. Yeah.
Bellator, what a goofy name. It's just I don't know, that organization, like they have good fighters over there, don't get me wrong. So it's nothing to do with the fighters. It's just the way the promotion goes about things is like very like it's just goofy to me.
I just don't want them to do what they did like to Strike Force and just buy out all these organizations that are kind of trying to. I want there to be more competitors.
Yeah, I get that, but I'd like to see the PFL actually buy him. That'd be awesome because I like the PFL a lot. I like what they're doing there. I like their promotion, but Bellator is just a little goofy to me.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next matchup. We have Rob Font and Adrian Yanez. First round KO for Rob Font. What a fucking for as long as this fight lasted, it was a war, dude.
Yes, it was.
Rob Font was walking through some fucking heat there in that first round. Adrian Yanez was looking fantastic, but the second Rob got that jab working, it completely changed the entire fight.
Yeah.
And he was wearing that damage too. I mean, Rob had a gnarly fucking black eye there and a big old little hematoma there, some swelling under it, and it was really nasty. But he walked through that fire that Yanez was landing, and he was hurting Yanez every single time he was landing that straight right, and it was fucking beautiful to watch. It really felt like there, once Rob got that jab going, he was in the matrix.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like his defense was pretty good overall. I mean, walking through a lot of those big shots that did connect and land, and the fact that this fight only lasted a couple minutes and there was so much damage on his face was like,
crazy. Yanez is good.
Hell.
That shows Yanez is good, but Rob Font, dude, that boxing was just next level last night.
Yeah, it definitely was better. And that's the thing, that's where I held pause on Adrian Yanez because he had not been tested with like a top 5, top 6 guy like Rob Font. The closest fight that he did have was against Davey Grant, where he won via split decision. And I knew Rob Font was just going to be a lot for him. Rob Font, everyone talks about this guy being like, can never quite, he's always one fight away from like, a top contender or a potential title fight. And then it's really a sad thing in his career because then he'll backslide 1 or 2 fights, but he's still a top dog in this division and still has plenty of time to try to, make a run for a title.
Mm-hmm.
But he looked phenomenal last night, and I'm really, really happy for him. As far as Rob Font, guys, what do we do? What do we do next with him?
That's a great question. I don't know.
I think they fought already, but I do like that Cheeto fight. Rob Font, Cheeto Vera.
Yeah, do a rematch of that.
Because they both just lost,
Rob Font just won.
You could do Rob Font and Jan.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what I mean. But Cheeto just lost.
You could do Rob Font, Petr Yan.
Yeah, you could do that as well. Yeah, that's a good fight.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because that Font Vera fight did happen just last year, April 30th, 2022. So that might be a little soon to do that rematch.
Yeah, I don't know. It just depends on what's going on with Sugar Sean O'Malley and Rob Dvalishvili. And also, we have Aljamain Sterling next few weeks.
I was thinking about this last night. I think the fight to make, since they're both on a win, you would do probably Vera Yan, and you would do Rob's not fighting for the title. Obviously, Cejudo is, so we got to throw that factor in there. But then you probably do like Rob Font versus Sean O'Malley for the fighting styles, because I don't think Sean's going to fight Rob because he'll just get wrestle fucked for 3 rounds. So I think the person to call out would be Sean. That would be a good fight. I don't want to see the Marlon Vera rematch, and I don't think Petr Yan would fight Rob Font, but that would also be a good fight.
And W said that Rob Font called out Figgy, which that would be awesome because
that would be
Figgy's moving up.
fantastic.
That's a great call out.
He did call out, but are you gonna? I mean,
oh, I love it. I love.
Would you do like Figgy Marab and then Figgy fights for the title if he wins? Because like you got to give Figgy a top contender. He's literally you have to.
Well, Figgy Marab would be phenomenal too.
I think you do Figgy Marab or Figgy Sean O'Malley even. I mean, it's Figgy's Figgy's got to jump some guys, unfortunately, just because he's fucking future.
Yeah, that just throws a
champ.
huge wrench into already just stacked bantamweight division. But yeah. Maybe a Rob Font though wouldn't be bad for a guy like Figgy. You know, finally moving up to the division, kind of gets that first top 5, top 6 fight. Because I'll tell you two different reasons why. Number one, with Rob, you know, always just with that one fight away. It'd be really nice for him if he could go out there and get a win against a former champ to really kind of argue for a potential number 1 contender or a title shot.
Yeah, and that would get him that.
It would.
You know.
It would.
And hopefully
Davidson.
after that fight, we let this division play out a little bit and it's more open for him.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of in a limbo situation
He is.
right here. So, you know, the Figgy matchup works out fantastic in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to picks. So I think we both took Font in this one, right?
Yeah, I took Font.
Yeah, that was a good fight. Let's move on to another matchup here. We have Kevin Holland getting the 3rd round KO over Santiago Ponzinibbio. This was strange. I didn't feel like Kevin Holland was really being himself in this fight. Like this was a really strange matchup for him.
I
he wasn't talking shit.
Though.
I do. He was being a sniper. He needed to see what Alex Morono did so successful against Santiago. Obviously, he got caught there.
Yeah.
There in the end, but he was winning that fight against Santiago Ponzinibbio, and he could have finished Santiago multiple times. Kevin Holland did capitalize on that, where Alex Morono didn't, because once he did hurt him, he did go for that finish right away. But at the same time, this was a very strange Kevin Holland here. Like, he wasn't pushing the pace, he wasn't really trying to engage too much inside the pocket of Ponzinibbio, and I guess that's understandable. You got to watch out for that power. Ponzinibbio was throwing looping wild punches, man, and if one of those did connect, he probably would have put him out.
Yeah, he definitely would have. But Kevin did what he does, and he's got a lot of power, man. I mean, this guy can crack. But it was a very unique game plan. It was definitely different. We didn't see Loudmouth out there. We saw a different Kevin Holland.
We didn't see Loudmouth. We saw Trailblazer, which is exactly what he needed to do and get the job done. Who do you want to see him fight next? Because I don't think he's obviously going to fight any of the top 5. I don't think he's going to fight Wonder Boy again.
He won't even fight. I don't even know if he fights a top 10. It's got to be top 15.
Neil Magny, Michael Chiesa.
Neil Magny, Chiesa's got a fight coming up.
Yeah, but it dropped out. He's supposed to be on this last card, and he couldn't get a replacement. So, so Chiesa's out there. He's ready to fight. Jack Della Mandalane. Oh my goodness, and Kevin Holland.
That would be a great fight.
Oh my god.
Yeah, let's not do that.
I don't know about Kevin.
Yeah.
Let's do Neil Magny.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
I'd rather see the Michael Chiesa fight
or Vicente Luque. Kevin Holland.
I think Kevin Holland wins because Vicente just doesn't seem to press the pace much anymore.
That'd be a great matchup.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird with Vicente because there are times where he looks phenomenal. He looks like a world beater. And then, other times where you're kind of scratching your head being like, what the hell's going on? I wish Jorge Masvidal would not have retired because that's actually the perfect fight.
Yeah,
it really is actually the perfect fight. But I don't think that will happen now. So it is what it is.
It is what it is there. Yeah, I love Kevin Holland. It's a crowd favorite. I fucking love watching that guy fight.
Yeah.
It's absolutely entertaining every single time. It wasn't the most entertaining fight last night, but he did do what he had needed to do to get the job done. So shout out to him. Hopefully we see him very soon. I took Kevin Holland. I had a feeling a knockout was coming in that fight.
Yeah. Ann W says Kevin versus winner of D-Rod and Gary. That would be fun. Either one of those two would be a great fight. So yeah,
absolutely.
We could do that.
Do it. All right, let's move on to the opening fight of the main card. We had Raul Rosas Jr. getting absolutely outclassed there in the second and third by Christian Rodriguez. Yeah, let's give Raul some credit though.
For real,
that first round, dude, he looked fantastic. He took Christian's back. Christian kind of gifted him that position. He put himself in a real bad spot.
You're right.
Raul Rojas Jr. was able to capitalize on that, but the defense from Christian, especially in that first round, to ward off those rear naked chokes was absolutely fantastic.
One thing that I don't like is when a fighter can't get a takedown or tries to go for the same thing that's not working over and over and over and over again, and then refuse to change up their game plan. And their corner doesn't tell them, hey, maybe mix it up.
He should have tried striking.
Towards the end there, he started striking a little bit, and he was doing. It's better than being body triangled for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Mix it up. I understand. I'm not shitting on the kid because obviously he's great. He's 18 in the UFC. I'm just saying, why did his corner not tell him to mix it up a bit? I forget his takedown defense from Rodriguez, but
it was over 80% effective.
He failed 10 takedowns. What do you Mix it up.
I-
Clearly it's not working.
It's a learning experience that I
Yeah.
think every fighter, especially young fighters, especially undefeated ones like him, have to go through. You need to learn these learning experiences. You know, you need to be humbled a little bit. You know, not everyone you're going to be able to go out there and just immediately take them down and choke them out. Like I'm sure he has throughout.
It's exactly
90% of
what
his
Cash
career.
said. It's like, did someone tell this guy it was a jiu-jitsu match? I'm like,
Yeah,
No.
like, well, when, you know, this will be a waking up experience for him because, you know, you cannot be a one-dimensional fighter nowadays. You have to be able to mix it up. You have to be well-rounded. You know, if he's not confident in his striking skills, you know, he needs something to fall back on when the takedowns are not coming, when he doesn't have an easy back take. You know, he needs to have some skills other than that.
And W says Rosas Corner was his dad, mom, and brother. Kids needs a real team.
Yes. Yeah, that's yeah. I would 100,000% agree.
I
with
think
that.
though, I think basically those takedowns, those failed takedowns and whatnot was just a matter of inexperience. You know, I mean, we got to keep in mind we are keeping it in mind that the kid is 18 years old. I mean, to be put in a spot like this, pay-per-view main event, or excuse me, pay-per-view, first card on the pay-per-view, second fight in the UFC, 18 years old. But you know, even though he did lose his fight, man, he showed a tremendous amount of heart and he did not give up. He was getting real tired, man. And Christian Rodriguez, I mean, was suffocating and putting a lot of pressure on him. And you know, Rosas still just tried to win the fight and never gave up. So I mean, a lot of credit to this kid. This kid has got more balls, more tenacity at 18 than I could ever have as a grown man. So you know, it is what it is. Learning experience.
He needs to take some time. You know, he
Yeah.
really needs to develop those striking skills because, like, he's going to run into a guy that he's not going to be able to take down, just like he did with this one
100%.
multiple times in his career. So
Yeah.
you need to be able to strike, man. You know, learning experience. I think this is exactly what Raul Rojas Jr. needed actually in his career, because especially if that's true, man. If he's just like training in his garage, like I'm sure he's got a gym. I'm sure he trains with the coaches and all that, but if it's just your family in your corner, you know, maybe you should think about maybe moving, like, you know, you could stay in the desert. You can go to Arizona. You could fucking go to MMA Lab.
Yeah, but
out
you
there
need
in
a
Phoenix.
professional team
You need
around
you.
you.
Yeah, he needs a real team. I would 100% agree with that
Yeah.
with ANW. And that'll be a huge learning experience for him.
All right. So normally we don't do this, but we got to talk about that prelim main event. Oh my goodness, man. Chris Curtis versus Kelvin Gastelum. Gastelum looked phenomenal. This looked like the Gastelum of old. Chris Curtis also looked phenomenal.
Yeah, he had a tremendous heart in that, dude.
I
He was
mean,
getting blasted with shots.
And he was blasting Kevin too.
Blasting
Those
him back,
body
yeah.
shots. Oh my God. Those uppercut body shots that Chris Curtis was throwing. I don't know how that didn't break Kelvin's rib cage, dude. Those punches were so hard. Both these guys, just so many strikes thrown back and forth for 3 rounds. I mean, hats off to both of them. Fight of the night, unquestionably. And what a way to kick off that pay-per-view too, you know, or going into the pay-per-view, I should say, being that prelim main event spot. Those boys showed out, and I'm so glad they each got $50K in the bonus because they deserved it.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on to some MMA news. Guys, this is going to be quick. There wasn't all that much news this last week, but we'll start with the big news. We have a main event for UFC 289, correct? 289 in Canada?
Yeah, in Canada.
Is it Vancouver or is it Victoria?
It is Vancouver.
Dude, let's go. Vancouver, BC? That's fucking, what, 3 hours?
Bro, I'm not going to Canada.
Why?
We might not be able to come back. Who knows,
You
man?
need a passport. Or no, actually, to get into Canada, all you need is a driver's license.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
got
if
a
I'm comfortable
passport.
going to Canada.
Dude, it's right
The
across
things we've
it's
said on this
literally right across
podcast,
the
bro,
border.
they might just
Throw us away?
yeah,
For lock the key
100%.
away?
100%.
Oh,
Yeah,
bro, we're good.
yeah. No,
I've been to
I don't
Canada a
trust
few
that
times.
government at all. No, thank you.
Yeah, me neither. But still, I'd go to a fight and then drive right back to Seattle.
Yeah, yeah.
The safety of Seattle.
And why go? It's not like it's worth going.
Yeah, true. All right, we got a main
on.
event, guys. It's
Come on.
Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena 3, the trilogy everyone's been asking for. Highly anticipated matchup there in the bantamweight division or in the women's bantamweight division. Who else was it going to be? Fucking no one. That's why they made this fight. So it is what it
It's
is.
so funny that they threw this on the Canada card. They're like, here you go, Canada. You get a pay-per-view.
You pieces of shit. Fuck you guys. That's pretty
you
much
know,
what they did.
And obviously no disrespect to like Amanda Nunes or Juliana Pena, but we kind of just we have a pretty good idea of how this fight's going to go down. You
Mhm.
know, we've seen it twice already, and unless Juliana Pena drastically changes her game plan from the first 2 fights, the first fight, obviously she won. It was impressive, but then didn't really make any adjustments in that second fight, which is why we saw Amanda dominate.
Completely fucking outclassed.
Yeah, so like if she doesn't switch it up, if she doesn't change anything, then more or less of that, the same stuff is going to happen, So, yeah, it is what it is. But I just see Amanda Nunes winning that fight and implementing the same game plan she did last time. I mean, what really can Juliana Pena do differently from that second fight to this third fight,
I don't know. Like, I mean, she could completely change everything, and I still think Amanda's going to go out there and smoke her. No offense.
It could be pretty rough, but it is what it is. But yeah,
hopefully it's a good card.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. UFC 289, closer it gets.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to other MMA news. We have a WWE UFC merger happen. Endeavor Group has bought out the WWE, and now we'll be all under the same umbrella corporation, Endeavor. So that stock price might go up depending on whether the WWE is being successful or not. It's big news. Dana White was very happy to announce this news, and it could be big for both sports overall because, let's say one sport's dying a little bit, that could get propped up by maybe the severity of the other one,
Yeah. Let's talk about numbers a little bit here. The deal values the UFC at $12.1 billion and the WWE at $9.3 billion, making the evaluation of the new entity $21.4 billion, one of the biggest players in all of sports and entertainment. Endeavor will own 51% of the new company, while current WWE shareholders will own 49%. The deal is expected to close later this year. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Hopefully it just makes both sports bigger in the end. All right, let's move on to other MMA news. We have a matchup here between Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and Michel Pereira. Michel. Yeah. It's a very exciting matchup there. Michel Pereira trying to break into the top 10 in the welterweight division against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
I am surprised that Wonderboy would fight down that far.
Yeah, I mean, he did fight Kevin. Kevin wasn't even ranked.
Yeah, and I know he doesn't really want to fuck with Burns or Muhammad or Hamzat because
they're all going to wrestle fuck.
They're all just, and he wants to like the Covington fight and whatnot. But that's a big drop. And I know he wants to stay active, but that's a big drop. I would just push for maybe a Bilal rematch, even or a Shavkat. I mean, that's a big drop.
It's already made.
I know.
It is what it is.
Pull out.
No. That's an entertaining fight, though. Like, come on, like Michel's style.
Yeah,
with Wonderboy on the
100%.
feet. Fuck, that's a good fight.
That's a great
I
fight.
want Michel to be back
Wonderboy.
flipping as Wonderboy front flip, fucking scissor kicks him in the face or something.
I'm taking Wonderboy by decision.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Is that it? Anything
yeah,
else?
I mean, that's about it. I mean, stylistically, it will be fun because, you're going to have Michel Pereira throwing these wild strikes, doing exactly what he does all the time. But then you're going to have that counter karate style of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. That just makes for a fun striking matchup. And, Wonderboy's kind of at that point in his career now. He's 41 years old, where like maybe he doesn't, and I'm not saying he does, but maybe he doesn't necessarily care about making one last run for the belt.
On his podcast, it seems like he does. That's why I was confused about this.
Yeah. But maybe he's just trying to stay active because the harder it is to, when you're sitting around for 8 months when you're that old. I think he's 39 actually. I don't think Wonderboy. Is he 40 now? Yeah. So he's getting up there. If he wants to make one last run, I mean, having a Michel Pereira victory would be a good start, even though he is 15, but yeah, Michel's 15. All
right, we're gonna clip that up right there. All right, let's move on to our preview show, Mason. This is my birthday weekend fight card.
No one gives a fuck.
I know.
No, I'm just joking. Happy birthday weekend. Yes, it is Max Holloway versus Arnold Allen. Tabor, are you kidding me or what? Are you going to be watching this card?
Do you want to go live for it?
Yeah.
Want to do fight companion?
This is an awesome card.
It's the day before I got to talk to my family because they're all like pissed off at me as I don't want to do anything for my birthday. They're like, you don't want to have a party or nothing? And I was like, no, I just kind of want to do a fight companion and fucking go to bed.
Yeah. No, I definitely would love to do a fight companion this weekend for this because, I mean, this main event fight, this co-main, I love that Billy Quarantillo's getting that opportunity against Edson Barbosa. I mean, dude, and Ian Cutelaba is taking a nap. It's just going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. So let's start at the top as we always do. Main event of the evening, Max Holloway coming in at a -180 2A plus 155 Arnold Allen. I'm not shocked by this line, Mason, at all. I actually agree with it 100%. I'm not shocked that
Really?
Max is almost 2-1. Yeah,
I'm a little shocked here, man.
I'm not.
I'm a little shocked.
I'm not,
I mean,
but
Arnold Allen is that guy, dude.
But
This
Max
kid is
Holloway was the
incredible.
guy until Volk.
Yeah.
And like, let's be real, like,
And a lot of people,
you match Max up with almost anyone in the division, like you're taking Max in that matchup other than Volk.
Mm.
And maybe Arnold Allen.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Yair now.
Well, remember when Calvin Kattar had all that hype surrounding him, and then Max just demolished
Completely
him in 5
outclassed
rounds.
him.
I mean, Calvin Kattar's a phenomenal fighter and has only improved since that fight, as he should and did. But that really put perspective. And we have Arnold Allen here, 19-1. He's kind of that next up and comer in this featherweight division. If he can get past Max Holloway, title shot.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be. But I don't know. I really like Arnold Allen. I really think he will be a future champion.
You would give the title shot to Arnold if you beat Max?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Over Yair?
No, not over. Well, that fight's already
he's
made.
An interim, yeah.
That fight's already made. It's going to be happening in July. But yeah, I mean, he's the next guy after.
He would be the next guy after that, though, for sure. 100%. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, Yair is getting that shot first, and it is what it is there. But yeah, Arnold's the next guy in line if he beats Max Holloway. 20-1, beating the former champion, who no one else can beat outside Alexander.
Does he have the skill set to get it done? I think so.
I do.
It's just whether or not he gets it going. I mean, it's so hard to get going against Max Holloway. Like the only guy we ever seen do it was Alex.
Yeah.
So like, can he replicate that? I don't know. It's going to be very interesting.
I really do, because the style of Arnold Allen striking, man, he mixes his strikes up so well. I mean, those body shots that he throws are just so just powerful, man. I mean, really, really powerful. He does this thing where he goes to the body and then comes up 2 or 3 head shots. It's just like, yeah, I think he's an awesome fighter, and I do think he has the skill set to win this fight. And he's also got a hell of a chin too. I mean, this kid can take a beating if he needs to. But yeah, I'm going Arnold Allen in this, and I love the line here at a plus 155. I love Max Holloway too. I mean, obviously Max's style is unique, and his striking is great. Yeah, the way he moves in and out, avoids big heavy shots. Could Max get it done? 100% he could. But I don't know. I just think it's Allen's time, man.
I mean, yeah, he's on what, like a 10-fight win streak in the UFC?
Yeah.
10-11. So,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think if he gets past Max, he should be next in line. I just thought you meant he was going to jump Yair. I was like,
oh, no. He won't do that, even though I think he should.
I'm really
I think
struggling.
He would deserve it more than Yair.
But I'm really struggling with this matchup, to be honest.
I would love to see Yair versus Arnold Allen.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. I really don't know who's going to have a competitive edge here. I think it's going to be an extremely close matchup.
I think it's going to be a close fight. It's going to be more of a dog fight.
I think it's going to be a war. Yeah, who's got more?
I think it's going to be a war. I don't think he's going to put Max out, but it's possible he might outpoint him. But Max, he's just going to do boxing.
I think both these men are going to beat the shit out of each other for 5 straight rounds, and the fans are going to win.
Oh, 100%.
I'm talking. This is fighting. This is like
event.
fight of the year contender, right?
Yes, it is. It most certainly is, Tabor.
Future,
I really believe
maybe
that.
Hall of Fame fight. I think it's that.
Yeah.
I think
it has that caliber.
Just because they're styles.
You know what? I think. Call me crazy. Max has never been knocked out, right? But I think Arnold Allen can knock him out.
He could.
I really do. Because
he's got the power.
This dude has knocked out Dan Hooker. He knocked out Calvin Kattar in the 2nd round. Like,
well, then he blow his knee.
Yeah, but still, it's a knockout.
It's a TKO.
Okay, yeah. I am kind of cheating it.
I do think Arnold has the power to do it for sure, 100%. Yeah. But let's keep in mind, even Volk couldn't put him down.
Yeah,
he had to destroy him, but he never could knock him out.
That is true. Yeah.
So Max's chin is just that good. I do think Arnold has the power, though. I do think.
Well, and think about
it's possible,
especially that last fight with Volk. I know he's taken a long time off, but like he took so much fucking damage in that fight, and even the fight before that with Yair, like that was another war. Max was taking so much damage. Is this damage going to catch up with him? Will his chin be compromised at all coming into this Arnold Allen fight?
That's another factor, compromised? Man. No, but it always catches up to you,
dude. I mean, you can't take that kind of damage for too long, and he normally does not. But that last fight was extremely
brutal.
brutal.
Max is relatively young still. So
yeah,
he's still
young.
I wanted to just bring that up.
a lot of time even if there's adverse, he has a lot of time to still go for a title run.
Think about
A
how
lot
much
of time. He's what, 30, 31?
Yeah, think about how
And
much
his prime.
think about how much time and all the incredible things Max Holloway has accomplished in his career already. And the dude is 31 years old. That's crazy. I went to go to the age, like before you guys were bringing this up, because I'm like, oh, Max is probably what, 35, 36 now? And I'm like, oh my God, Arnold Allen's 29, Max Holloway's 31. I mean, this dude is still in the prime of his
You're
career.
seeing these guys at their best.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So again, just a phenomenal main event. I'm leaning on the side of Allen here. I'm going to go 1,500 church coin on Arnold Allen. I think he's going to get it done. Tabor, what's your take?
This one's hard, man. Like I see both men getting a victory here. Like I can make arguments for both of them. It was hard, man. I was picking Allen at first. Now I'm picking Max. We've only seen one man ever be able to really do anything with Max Holloway. And Yair found a lot of success. It just wasn't enough. But can Arnold Allen replicate that? And I don't think he can the way Volk did, but he's going to have to do it in his own way. I'm going Max Holloway. I'm going to go 1,500 coin on him, the opposite direction as you. And I'm going to go Max KO, TKO, 500 coins.
All righty. Yeah, my prop bet here is a Max Holloway decision for 500.
All right, let's move on to the co-main event of the evening. We have Edson Barboza at a plus 135 to minus 160, Billy Quarantillo. Edson Barboza coming in as the dog here. I mean, he's faced a lot of adversity, especially here at 145.
Yeah, he most certainly has. He's been on the wrong side of a couple very, very close fights as well. I love this matchup stylistically. This one's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, you have the kickboxing of Edson Barboza that is bar none, some of the best that you'll see. And then Billy Quarantillo, the heart of this kid is, I mean, I say kid, but he's 34. But the heart of this guy, man, is just it's not even a question. That fight against Alex Hernandez, I mean, goodness, dude, they went to war, and then he was able to finish him. This is a great matchup. I love this stylistically. I think this will be a very fast-paced fight, and I for sure do not see this one going decision.
No, someone's getting finished. Whether Edson fucking head kicks Billy into the next dimension or whether Billy fucking knocks Edson out. Edson's chin has not looked the best as of late, and his cardio especially has not looked the best as of late. But can Billy take Edson down? Edson Barboza has not done well at all with wrestlers. If Billy gets Edson Barboza down, it's over. But Billy could definitely like figure something out on the feet as well. This is going to be a war, and I can't wait.
And I do agree with that too, because Billy Quarantillo is just such a well-rounded fighter too. I mean, he can beat you on the ground. He can beat you standing up. You know, he's not super elite at anything in particular, but he's a very well-rounded fighter in everything that he does.
Absolutely.
And he's constantly improving. So yeah, man, I'm pumped for this co-main too. This is a phenomenal matchup.
That's a good fight. Yeah.
I'm leaning on the side of Billy Quarantillo here. Here are the odds. Billy Quarantillo is a minus 160 to a plus 135 Edson Barboza. I am going to pick Billy as far as this betting is concerned, but I might lay, $5-10 on Edson Barboza at a plus 135. So either way I win. All right. I'm going to go 500 I'm going to go 500 on Billy for the win.
I'm leaning Billy in this matchup as well. I think he's going to be a more dangerous fighter, but you can never count Edson out with those fucking body kicks, man.
I know
how devastating those kicks are. So fuck it. I'm going to go with Barboza. I'm going to lay some money on the dog here. I think this dog's got a little more fight in him. So plus 135. I'll do 500 on Barboza here. Let's move on to the next matchup. We have Dustin Jacoby at a minus 200 to plus 170. Azamat Murzakanov.
That was awesome. You almost got it.
The Russian guy.
Azamat Murzakanov.
Oh,
that's what I'm going with.
Yeah,
Murzakanov.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Sounds a lot better as well. Shout out to Azamat. Probably fucked his name up. We apologize to you and your ancestors for that one. But
your ancestors?
This is another good matchup, dude. Like Dustin Jacoby's a well-rounded guy, and Azamat Murzakanov, I don't know this guy at all. But he has a Russian-sounding last name. I see a Russian flag. He's 12-0, so I can only assume he's a dominant wrestler. He's got a beard as well.
Yeah, he was a Contender Series guy in 2021, week 1.
Okay.
Beat Scheffel via TKO punches, and then had 2 fights in the UFC. Obviously, Tafon Njukwi, he beat him, KO, flying knee, and then Devin Clark, we know.
I think
TKO
I remember
punches.
that flying knee.
Yeah. So he's a bit of a savage.
Okay.
Could say.
Yeah, I'm going with the Russian guy.
And then Dustin Jacoby on the side of him too. He had that split decision, very close loss to Khalil Roundtree in his last outing, but has beaten Da Woon Jung, John Allen, and Darren the Dentist Stewart. So
yeah, very
it's a good
impressive
matchup.
resume from both these men. So I'm going with the Russian guy, man. I always go with the Russian sounding last name, especially when he's up against an American. And he's a dog. Let's go. I'm trying to get that value. So Russian guy, 500 coins.
Yeah, I mean, dude, as far as the odds here, and as far as like who we're talking about, this is pretty crazy. I did not expect the line to be this wide on this fight. I mean, Dustin Jacoby is a very, very powerful fighter, very impressive in his own right. But Azamat Murzakanov, I mean, dude, this guy's undefeated. Can knock you out anywhere. I'm going back and forth on this. But let's start out the week having a little bit of fun. Me and Tabor are going to have a bunch of different picks. So I'm going to go on the side of Jacoby. I'm going to put 500 church coin on him for the win.
All right. Tanner Bozer plus 100, even money there, to a minus 120 Ion Cutelaba. Ion Cutelaba making his heavyweight debut here.
I don't understand it. You get knocked out,
At 205.
At
all
205.
the time.
I don't understand why you're going up to heavyweight. Guys, bet the house on a Tanner Bozer KO. That's all I got to say. Bet the fucking house on a Tanner Bozer KO.
Why do you got 500 on Ion?
What?
Your picks. You got 500 on Ion.
I was trolling, obviously. I'm obviously trolling. But no. Yeah. Here's the thing. I like Ion Cutelaba, and I think I guess I'm just more disappointed with him because I see the skills there. He just has no fight IQ. And that's the thing that frustrates me the most. No, seriously, because he's a very, very talented fighter. But for whatever reason, there's just no fight IQ. He throws caution to the wind every single time. And it's like, how many times can you do the exact same thing with the exact same result and not change up that game plan at all? And I just still have not seen him change his game plan up and try to be more calculated because he's powerful. He's a great striker, but he just caution to the wind, just goes out there and tries to get the knockout and then gets flatlined.
That's why I love him.
I know.
It's always awesome to watch.
It is fun to watch. But again, if you're a betting man, you bet on the odds that this dude
He's the new Sam Alvey dude. We need one.
Yeah.
We need a Sam Alvey.
I'm fine with it. But if you're a bet man, go with Tanner Bozer KO.
Oh, for sure. Even
100%.
money, let's fucking go, baby. So I'm going Tanner Bozer KO, 500 coins. Eon is not the right move up. He's fighting Tanner's good. Like, he's got good wrestling. He's got he's got good hands too. And the power is going to be there at heavyweight. I'm excited to see what Eon can do. Hopefully Eon just runs in there, caution to the wind, just throwing left and
Gets
right.
Caught in
wild fucking punches. And I hope it's super entertaining for 30 seconds. All right, let's move on to the next matchup here. We got Pedro Munoz.
Oh, no, I didn't make my pick yet.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I'm going Tanner Bozer. Imagine that. 2,500 coin here on Tanner Bozer. Yeah, it's a big old bet, for a big old boy like Tanner Bozer, but definitely going to get the job done here with a vicious KO. I'm very excited.
Let's go. All right, Pedro Munoz at a plus 180 to a minus 220. Chris Gutierrez coming off that incredible flying knockout over Frankie, our boy.
Frankie,
our boy. No, you got to do my boy like that. It's a horrible matchup in that fight. We all saw it coming, but this is a fantastic one. Him and Pedro. So let's go to war. I'm a big fan of Chris Gutierrez. The way he looked against Frankie, he was on a completely another level that night. He really was, dude. He was looking fantastic. He looked sharp. And if that Chris Gutierrez shows up against Pedro Munoz, it's going to be a long night for Pedro.
Hey, 1 sec. I just want to go to a Mason camera quick.
Mason,
can we talk about what you were feeling during the Chris Gutierrez Frankie Edgar fight? And I just want you to explain all that and the emotion and the words and the passion that you had in that moment, and then the result after that.
The first thing Frankie I thought was, why in the hell are they letting this man walk free? He just fucking murdered this guy. I mean, he murdered Frankie in front of his children. It's
the first time they ever saw him fight too.
It was seriously one of, like, with no joking aside, it was one of the saddest moments in the sport. It was, man, because like Frankie is a legend, dude. And like, that is the last thing you ever want to see ever for a guy who's put so much into the sport. But, he's a warrior and he died on a shield. They had to revive him I can't do this. I can't do this.
You revived him in the octagon.
Yeah, man. And also, I mean, I joke. I shouldn't, but we love Frankie.
Let's
talk. What it is.
Is Pedro Munoz getting overlooked here by Vegas? Like, this is a huge line difference.
I want to talk about this fight because Dude, this is another phenomenal
Matchup.
sneaky matchup on this card, dude. I mean, Pedro Munoz versus Chris Gutierrez. Are you kidding me? Or what? For me, this fight could go either way. I like both these guys' styles. They both bring it every single time. Pedro Munoz coming off that draw, no contest with Sugar Sean O'Malley. Was that the eye poke? Was that an eye poke? Yes. What was that? Yeah, I thought that was the eye poke. But yeah, no. I love this. And Pedro Munoz really needs a win here too, because he did fight Sugar Sean O'Malley, which ended in a no contest. But, you know, he lost to Dominic Cruz, lost to Jose Aldo, both by decision. So this is a big win for him. But this is a big opportunity for Chris Gutierrez to really move up in this bantamweight division.
Absolutely.
I just love this matchup, man. Who do you have in this one, Tabes?
This is a close one, man. I don't know. I'm leaning Chris Gutierrez. He looks so smooth. So clean and crisp against Frankie. It's hard for me not to go with that momentum there. But Pedro's a dog, man. There's going to be a dog fight, and I think whoever wants him more is going to get it in the end. I mean, it's not going to be easy. It's going to go decision, I think, and I think both men are going to be very beat up after this fight.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what happens. I mean, both of them have got weapons. Both of them got knockout power. I'm very excited.
Well, and Chris Gutierrez, El Gaupo is his nickname. I don't know what the hell that means. But very, very impressive win streak here, too. I mean, all the way back to March 23rd, 2019, he has got 7 wins in a row. And, you know, not all no names either, you know, fighting guys like Vince Morales, you know, Frankie Edgar, obviously, Andre Ewell. So very, very impressive resume. I'm going to lean Pedro Munoz here, though. I really like Pedro. I really feel like this is an opportunity where he really needs to get a win in his career. And I think he'll go out there and do it. And I love the plus value here to 180. This is a sneaky dog play, I would say. Sneaky dog play here at a plus 180. I'm going to go Pedro Munoz by decision here. Give me 650 coin on Pedro for the win.
All right. I will, I'm going to go the opposite direction, Mason. I'm going with the momentum Chris Gutierrez has here. I'm going to go Gutierrez 500 coins. All right, let's move on to the opening fight in the main card, baby.
Go.
We got a legend here.
The legend,
the man himself.
I'm betting on Rafa. But
Clay Guida at a plus 180 to a minus 220. Rafa Garcia. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a war to open up the fight. This is a fantastic card, dude. Like we could have like fucking 6 straight knockouts.
Yeah, we really could,
dude. Like this is a fantastic card. I can't fucking wait for this next weekend. Clay Guida, baby. Anytime he's on the card, I get excited.
Yeah, no, and I'm pumped for this one, man. I think it's a pretty tough matchup for a 40-year-old Clay Guida, but, you know, Clay's not just going to lay down. He's not just going to take these easy fights, man. He's going to go out there and compete his ass off. It is so crazy. The guy's 38 and 19, and he's 41 years old and still goes out there and still looks good. You know, I know he did lose his last fight, and it is what it is, but it's not like we watch him and we go, oh my God, he's getting KO'd like Frankie Edgar.
Oh, he needs to retire right away. No, he looks like shit. No, that's not the case with Clay.
No, it's not. And what am I talking about? His last fight, he beat Scott Holtzman. That's right. He won in that decision. But the fight before that, he lost to Puelas, that sub. That first round sub was pretty gnarly. But yeah, man, I mean, Clay still got it. He's still out there, still competing. I love it. Give me Clay Guida in this fight. I'm switching it up. You guys know me. I cannot bet against my boy Clay. One of my favorite fighters in the entire UFC of all time. So go ahead and give me 500 church coin on Clay Guida for the win here. Coming in at a dog at a plus 180 dog. Betting on a lot of dogs.
Could you do me a favor and pull up Rafa? Because I don't know him, but I feel like I should. Like, he's got a very good record.
Yeah, you know who he is. Because he fought Drakkar Klose July 30th of last year. Jesse Ronson. Hayasier Machete. Wow, that is a strange name. But you know, he's been.
This is a breakout fight for him, though. Like you're fighting a guy like Clay Guida, especially on a main card of a big fight night like this. Like this is their UFC's trying to build this guy, so obviously they see something in him.
Yeah, and he's pretty young too, 31 years old.
All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Garcia. Fuck it, I love Clay Guida. I hate that I have to pick against him, but I mean, a younger guy, less fights. He might not have that savvy vetness in him like Clay Guida does, but I mean, you know. Clay Guida, he's getting there in age, so eventually he might take a few losses. So I'm betting on this one. I'm going to go Garcia. I'm going to go with the safe bet here, 500 there on that. Let's get into parlays. I'm going to go a 3-fight parlay this weekend. I'm going to stay away from that main event because I truly do not know what's going to happen there. So I'm going to go Barboza. Edson Barboza. He could very well lose to Billy Quarantillo, and
Yes,
he
he could.
probably might, but he's a dog, and I'm going out on a limb here with Barboza. So I'm going to risk it a little bit. So I'm going to go Barboza. Bozer, I think, is a lock, and Gutierrez, who I also do think could be a potential lock here over Pedro Munoz. He just looks so smooth. So I'm going Barboza, Bozer, Gutierrez, 500 coins there.
If I hit this parlay, it's going to be pretty big because all three of these are dogs, but I think all three of them got a pretty good shot at winning this fight, or their fights, I should say. Arnold Allen at a plus 155, Bozer at even money plus 100, and Pedro Munoz at plus 180. I can only imagine that kind of value there. That's probably 1,000 value, at least plus 1,000. I'm very, very excited for that one. Give me 500 on that parlay. Lock that bad boy in, folks.
All right. You heard it here first.
Take
boys.
him to the bank.
Another successful episode, Mason. What is Big Screen Boys talking about this weekend?
Yeah, guys, go and check out Tremendous Studios YouTube channel. We're dropping some trailer reactions this week. We're reviewing Dungeons and Dragons. If you guys are Indian cinema fans, we did Pathan, which is the best mainstream Bollywood film I have seen to date. It was fun from start to finish, a ton of action. It's on Prime Video right now. Go check it out and then watch our review. Me and Cash had a blast with that film. We also have our John Wick 4 review. You guys can go check out on that channel, along with, just brand new film, brand new trailer reactions. We should be going live here at about 4 or 5 p.m. tonight. So check us out over there.
All right. Tremendous Digital Studios, guys. Go check it out.
Just Tremendous Studios.
Oh, Tremendous Studios. Yeah. My bad.
No worries.
Tremendous Studios YouTube channel. Go subscribe if you haven't already. You know what? I saw Dungeons and Dragons. I liked it. I thought it was funny. I was laughing. And I was into the story at first, but it was really that last fight scene. I just feel like action movies can't fucking get a final boss showdown ever.
Yeah.
They're just always trash. I think
it's hard to do with D&D because the villains can just be so overpowered that I think they kind of had to do this with that team per se, because they aren't the greatest. Maybe if there's like a sequel and that mage is stronger and all that, then you could do more. But it's kind of just starting out with a new ragtag team. So I agree.
I think it was a little hard too, because though I enjoyed it, I didn't love it because I'm just not familiar with Dungeons and Dragons as far as role playing and stuff. So I feel like if you don't know the game, it's hard for you to get every reference.
I don't know the game.
There's some good books for you to read that are act like novels. Yeah, that you could read that I think you'd really enjoy. Get into that story. I know are you done with the Red books yet or what?
Yeah, Red Rising.
Yeah. So maybe
until July. Yeah.
Well, I think you need to start that Powder Mage second trilogy because it's.
I am halfway through the first book.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's so much better.
Yeah.
The last book is the best, but then also, the guy has another book. What is it? In the Shadow of Lightning. That might be my favorite.
I have that book too. I haven't listened to it, but I have it.
If you just want to break from the powder, that is. I like the way that it works. Yeah. That world building to me is a little bit. I like the magic system better. It's really nice, and the storytelling I feel is better. And I tweeted at that guy. I was like, I finished it, and I was like, hey, bro, I'm gonna need that second book. And he tweeted at me, I'm working on it right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Shout out. Shout out to Powder Mage trilogy. I'm not into books.
I love books.
You know what I've been listening to actually?
Awesome.
It's a lot of war camp. I think you'd like it because it's just bloodshed, war, torture.
Yeah. Okay, I'd like that then.
Yeah, action. It's a very military-esque type thing. So if you're into that, there is a lot of fighting, but I'd say it's 60% just military campaign, not crusade, but campaign, politics, armies.
That sounds pretty cool. I'd like it. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, I had really low expectations going into this movie on Friday, but I saw Super Mario Brothers.
Was it good?
It was good.
How was
I actually enjoyed it, and I looked up the audience score. It's 98%.
Wow. Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes audience score.
That is very, very surprising. I had zero expectations for that.
I thought it was be horrible.
Yeah. How was Chris Pratt's voice? Was it
so? It's funny because they made a joke of it because everyone was pissed off about the voice.
Yeah.
So the opening scene is him doing a Mario voice, and they did it off as a gimmick, they're just pretending to be super hardcore Italians for their plumbing business. And it was a commercial. It's like, it's a me, a Mario.
Mario.
And then it's just a TV playing a commercial of him talking like that. And then he's like, hey, how'd you guys like my commercial? He's normal.
Okay.
It was like, they played it off as a joke. But I mean, honestly, it was good. Jack Black killed it, man.
Oh, of
He kills
course.
it.
Of course. He kills it in everything. He was so good in The Mandalorian this week.
I know.
Oh, my
He's
gosh.
amazing. I fucking love
that
Jack
man.
Black. Mandalorian's amazing as well. I'm fucking loving this new season. I'm really enjoying it. Jimmy, just fucking relax, my guy. Relax. He hates it so
Shout
much.
out to Jimmy, not liking any show ever,
He
baby.
hates it.
Hardest
All right.
critic.
All right. Guys, if you are not following us already, go and do it. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all the other social media networks, guys. Go follow us at P4P MMA Pod. Guys, we also have a TikTok. We're posting funny memes. We're trying to make you guys laugh. Hit us up at P4P MMA Pod. Also, once again, we have a Patreon, guys. $3 to $4 a month. That's all it is. Exclusive content. We did an exclusive podcast on that last night. It was a lot of fun. Go check that out. Also, we're going to have so much more coming here in the future on that Patreon. So stay tuned and make sure you subscribe if you have not already. So that's it.
All righty. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to the Pound for Pound MMA podcast. My name is Mason Knight. That is Taylor Cragen, Devin Davis on the ones and twos. And until next time,
Peace.